Hi, everybody, and welcome. As promised, here is the yoga for meniscus tear. Earlier, I made a video about how you can keep your knees healthy. This video here, we're going to look specifically at what we can do to help our knees after we've had a meniscus tear. Now, before you do any of these kinds of exercises, speak to a doctor or a healthcare professional just to make sure that for you these are all possible or that they can be done safely. Secondly, remember, also I said in the other video, rise. If you have swelling, rest, ice, compression, and then elevate the leg. Always wait till the swelling has gone down quite a bit before you start doing any of these kinds of exercises. We don't want to create more damage. We want to be able to help the healing process of the torn meniscus. And as I've said before, I do have torn meniscus. I have one in the right leg on the anterior and on the medial side on the left leg. The one on the left leg here actually was done in November last year, at the end of November last year. So these exercises are also exercises I do to be able to help the healing process for the meniscus so that I can continue teaching yoga and demonstrating what one can do or one position that people have to do in yoga when necessary. So, doctor first. Rice formula. Thirdly, move through these slowly. There's no reason here to go fast. Actually, to tell you the truth, when you do them slowly and with control, it's actually better than just jumping through it. If you have pain whenever you are doing one of the exercises, it's okay to stretch, it's okay to feel a little bit of pressure, but you should never feel pain. If you feel pain, slowly come out of the position. Rest, ice, compression, elevate, and then come back to it in the next day. It means that your knee is not yet ready to be able to take on the pressure from doing these exercises. After you do these exercises, and after you can do these, 5 exercises, 6 exercises, without any issue, then you can follow up and go further and then do the healthy knee video, which I will have linked at the end of this video. So I think that was enough talking. I don't usually do so much talking. So let's just get right into it and see the exercises that I do and the exercises that I show people how to do whenever they have a meniscus tear or also just normal issues with the knees. Okay, first one we're going to do, we're coming up to the wall. We're going to turn our backs to the wall. So this one here we can do with a lot of different things. So here I do the knees or the legs hip width apart. And then all we're actually going to do here is we're leaning on the wall for balance. I want you to take the toes off the ground and bring them up towards you. So when we want to heal the meniscus or we want to create more stability in the knees, we actually need to also build strength around the knees and the tendons, ligaments, and the muscles. And the quads play a huge role in this. And then you just hold the toes up like this here for a little bit, and then afterwards you bring them down. If you want to do it a little bit more dynamically, you can bring them up, hold them nice and slowly, bring them back down again, and then nice and slowly bring them back up again, and then back down again. So that's the first exercise. This one here, for some people, they say they don't feel it so much or they don't think it actually does anything, but it really does, and it really strengthens and pulls through. After you do about 10 of these, you're going to feel it in the shins, and you should feel it also in the quads. Okay, second one, still using the wall. This time here we go. Our hands on the wall for balance, and then you can also do this sideways. Yeah, it all depends on how well you are for balance. So hands on the wall, feet out, and this time here, all we're doing is we're coming up onto the toes, holding here, nice and slowly with control, coming back down, heels on the ground. Breathing in here, we come back up, breathing out, back down again. Breathing in, come up onto the toes, breathing out, back down. So here you can do it dynamically like we're doing at the moment, or if you want to have a better calf workout, just stay in this position for a little bit longer. But again, with control, come back down. It's not about a race through the exercises. This is about taking the time with control to get the most out of the exercises and the most out of the strength and the flexibility building. So the next one we're going to do is standing up. This one here is part of what we call in yoga the sun salutation, but this is basically a quarter one. What this is going to do is going to strengthen out a few things and also going to help basically with the hamstring and those things. So you're going to stand up nice and straight, hands beside you, look in front, find the point here. So as you breathe in, you're going to sweep the hands up over your head, bring them together. As you breathe out, you're basically going to swan dive. So nice and long here, coming down underneath, dropping down. You can hear the hands behind your heels if you want to, hands on the ground, or if you only get to here, you only get to here. This is not a problem. Here you can bend the knees a little bit if you'd like, or keep them straight like I do. So now you're going to breathe in, you're going to bring the hands on the shin, and what you're going to do is you're going to look up. And this is forcing you to straighten out your back. You'll feel a pull here at the back of the legs, all the way down. You're going to breathe out, you're going to fall forward again. You're going to breathe in, leading with the head, hands sweep out, come back up again. Hands touch, breathing out, hands beside you. If for stability purposes you're finding it difficult with the feet together, this you can do with the feet hip width apart from each other, not wider. Keep them hip width apart from each other. We can do the same thing. You breathe in here, hands come up, breathing out, fall forward, nice swan dive down like an Olympic diver. Hands on the mat, hands behind your legs. You're going to breathe in, hands on the shin. You're going to look forward, nice straight back, straighten it out. Breathe out, back down again. And as you breathe in, head leading, sweep the hands nice and high over the head. Breathing out, sweep them back down again. So this here, do 8 times through the whole sequence of the 4 positions. So all the way down and all the way back up again. And you'll see that this is going to help with the knee as well as the rest of the body. Okay, now for the next ones, we're going down to the ground. So here, I want you to come down, sit down, legs nice and long. So this is going to be a version kind of like the wall, but we're doing it sitting down, and some people find this more difficult, so we're going to do it with support first. So hands come beside you, fingers facing towards your feet, and you're going to straighten out your back, pull the shoulder blade down nice and long. So what this does is it activates the quads. And now what you're going to do is you're going to pull the toes towards you. Now if you're brave and you want to try something else, then what you're going to do is you're going to breathe in, hands come on your thigh, and you're basically, for right now, just stay here like this here for 5 or 6 breaths. You release it, come back again, pull, hold on to it. You'll feel this in the knees, you'll feel this in the quads, and also in the calves. If you want to, just to get a little bit more out of it, you can walk the hands up towards the calf. Yeah, and just you can also wiggle here side to side a little bit, but keep this back nice and straight. Keep the quads activated. This is what's protecting your knees, and this is what builds strength in the tendons and in the ligaments and the muscles around your knee. Then whenever you're ready, you breathe in, come back up, and relax. Okay, last one. So now we're going to go whichever way is the easiest for you. Come down, laying down on the mat. You're going to bring your feet as close to your body as you can, hip width apart. Now, this knee here is bugging me, yeah? So I can only bring it to here because it builds pressure if I have it over. So this leg here I can bring right up against my body. This one here, I can't. I still missing about 5 or 6 degrees in my knee. So then I just move them forward a little bit more. I keep them hip width apart, head and shoulders on the ground. So here you're going to roll the shoulders underneath your back. Hands come down. Now here, because of the meniscus tear, you have to be careful. Because what I want you to do is as you breathe in, you're going to lift your hips up. And you can look down here. As long as you're parallel here and you can see your knees, you're good. Don't come up too high. This is about staying here. Activate the glutes, activate the quads, activate the core muscles. Nice and straight. And then here you stay here. And that's all you do. You can do this dynamically also. It all depends on the knee and how it's feeling. So you can breathe out, come back down to the mat. And then breathing in, come back up. Whenever you breathe out, whenever you come down here, come vertebrae for vertebrae down, making the hips hit the ground the last. And then as you breathe in, you do the reverse, come back up again. So here, if you're doing it dynamically, you can do it 8 times, or you stay up for about 5 or 6 breaths, and then you come down again, and then just relax. Basically stay on the ground here for a few minutes, and just allow the muscles to relax a little bit. When you're ready to get up, then get up and do that. Now, those are basically the exercises that I do for meniscus tear. As you can see now, I can sit cross-legged. If you cannot sit cross-legged and you want to try it, then I suggest doing it with either towels or yoga blocks or even pillows underneath your knees and just allowing them to rest. And then see how it goes further and further that you can come down and sit down cross-legged. Cross-legged, I only suggest trying usually about 2.5 months after doing these exercises here every day. Well, that's the video on yoga for meniscus tear and how to help the healing process. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button or the subscribe button. Leave a comment. If there's another thing that you would like to do, I will be doing one on shoulders soon, on impingement and also thoracic nerve syndrome. So if you are looking for those kinds of things, I look forward to seeing you in those videos. And if you subscribe, then you'll get the little bell saying that there's a new video, and most likely it'll be the one you would like to see. I thank you again very much. I wish you all a very good day, and I'll see you next time.